After building over 150 go high level websites, I realized something scary. Most people are wasting insane amounts of time and money doing things completely wrong. So today I'm sharing 20 short lessons that would have saved me hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars. When it comes to building go high level websites, speed is the real advantage. Most GHL websites take way too long to build, because people start from scratch every single time. My early builds took days, not because they were complex, but because I was rebuilding the same sections over and over again. Now, instead of starting from zero, I use section templates, global sections, and element templates inside Go High Level. And by combining those, I built a reusable section system, and that alone lets me deliver websites 10 times faster without ever sacrificing quality. But here's the thing, speed on its own doesn't solve everything, which leads me to lesson 2. Systems scale, talent doesn't. And early on, every website that I built depended entirely on me, my time, my decisions, my energy. And that doesn't scale. What actually scales is systems. And once I standardized my layouts, my sections, and my build process, everything changed. Faster builds, consistent quality, less burnout. Now, once you start moving faster, there's a new mistake people make. When people discover animations, they tend to overuse them. Every section moves, every element fades in, everything slides, and instead of looking premium, the site starts to feel noisy. Animations aren't there to impress, they're there to guide attention, and used sparingly, they make a site feel smooth and intentional, but used everywhere, they become distracting. If everything moves, nothing stands out. Another mistake I made early on was treating every website like a one-off project. New layout, new structure, new ideas every single time. That feels creative, but it's inefficient. And after building dozens of sites, you start seeing the same patterns repeat. Same needs, same layouts, same sections. Once I stopped treating every site as unique and started reusing proven structures, builds got faster and results got better. Consistency isn't lazy, it's leverage, and this leads directly into the next lesson. Mobile is more important than desktop. Most people still design desktop first, and that's a big mistake, because the majority of users will see your site on mobile first and sometimes only. If the mobile experience feels cramped, confusing, or awkward, it doesn't matter how good the desktop version looks. Things like spacing, navigation, and readability matter way more on mobile. And when I switched to thinking mobile first, everything improved. Usability, trust, and of course conversions. Which brings me to this. Less is more. Most go high level websites try to say too much. Too much text, too many sections, too many elements competing for attention. And that just overwhelms people. Less text is easier to scan. More spacing makes things feel premium. The goal of a website isn't to explain everything, it's to guide someone to the next step. Now, here's another one most people miss. In my early builds, I relied almost entirely on default Go High Level components, and the result? Websites that worked but felt generic. Then I realized there was one element that changes everything, and that's the custom code element. With it, you are no longer limited to default blocks. You can create unique sections and elements that instantly makes a website stand out. Things like a fully custom coded menu with a smooth burger animation, or a completely custom FAQ section that feels premium and interactive. You don't need custom code everywhere, but in the right places, it's what separates another GHL website from a premium one. Now, this is a lesson that most people don't realize. Accessibility isn't optional, it's a quality signal. Things like clear, readable fonts, good contrast between text and background, and even pause buttons for looping videos or animations. These details seem small, but they matter a lot. They make your site easier to use, easier to trust, and easier to maintain. For lesson 9, here's something most people underestimate. Visitors don't read websites, they scan them. If someone can't understand what the site is about in the first 5 seconds, believe me, they are gone. And that usually comes down to one thing: clarity. Clear headlines, one obvious message at a time. Now, this one lesson surprised me early on. Trying to be creative on every single page actually hurts the experience. Different layouts, different styles, different spacing. It all creates friction. Consistency does the opposite. When sections look familiar and predictable, users feel comfortable, and comfort builds trust. That means using the same fonts, the same font sizes, and consistent padding and margins across the entire website. Repeating layouts isn't lazy, it's what makes a website feel polished and premium. Now for the next lesson, conversions are about timing, not pressure. Most websites try to force conversions. Big buttons everywhere, aggressive CTAs on every section, and that usually backfires. Conversions don't happen because of pressure. They happen because of timing. People need context before commitment, clarity before action, and trust before asking. The goal isn't to push harder, it's to ask at the right time. Here's another thing that took me a while to understand. Section order matters more than design. A website can look great, but still not work, because section order is wrong. If you ask for action before building trust, people hesitate. If you explain too much before creating clarity, people bounce. Good websites follow a flow. Clarity first, trust next, action last. You don't need better design, you need a better sequence. Most people think better design leads to more conversions, but it doesn't. Trust does. Social proof, clear messaging, professional structure. A simple site that feels trustworthy will always outperform a flashy site that feels uncertain. Design gets attention, trust gets the action. For the next lesson, you need to remember one thing. Custom CSS is a power tool. Similar to the custom code element within the Go High Level website builder, there is another powerful tool there that most people underuse, and that's the custom CSS section. This is where you fine-tune how a website actually feels. With custom CSS, you can enhance both the look and the functionality of your Go High Level website. But the biggest advantage is control across all screen sizes. Using media queries, you can make sure that your website looks gorgeous and works fine on every resolution. Not just desktop and mobile, but everything in between. You don't need a lot of CSS, but the right CSS turns a good website into a polished one. The next lesson I missed for a long time. SEO isn't just keywords or blog posts. It starts with the basics most people skip. Image, alt text, proper page titles and meta descriptions. These small details don't change how your Go High Level website looks, but they completely change how it's discovered. But even perfect SEO won't help you if your Go High Level website performs poorly. Which brings me to the next lesson. Performance matters more than you think. Here's something else most people overlook. Large images, unoptimized videos, and duplicate scripts can drag your site down. A slow website frustrates visitors, it kills conversions, and it even hurts search rankings. Optimizing your assets and keeping your site lean makes it feel fast and premium, keeps people engaged, and actually supports your SEO. Now here's one lesson for the advanced Go High Level users. Custom coded animations can take a website from good to truly polished, but only if done right. So don't reinvent the wheel. Use proven libraries like GSAP for smooth, professional effects. They handle the hard stuff like timing, easing, and performance, so your animations look premium on every device. A subtle, well-executed animation signals quality. Use libraries, save time, make it feel effortlessly professional. Feedback is a feature, not a bug. Early feedback isn't about criticism. It's a powerful tool that many people miss. Clients often notice issues you don't see. Maybe a section feels confusing. Maybe a button isn't clear. Maybe something just looks off on mobile. Catching these things early saves you hours, sometimes days, of rework later. And more importantly, it improves the final product. This next lesson is quite an important one, so don't use default Go High Level templates. They're basically boring, they're unengaging, they look the same, and everyone uses them. So when a visitor has seen the same layout 10 times, your website just stops feeling professional. Don't get me wrong, templates aren't bad, but generic Go High Level templates are. So using your own sections, custom layouts and reusable components is what makes a website feel intentional and premium. And finally, this last lesson ties it all together. Your library is your superpower. So once you have a library of pre-built sections, templates and components, your work transforms. You don't start from scratch. You don't reinvent the wheel. You can deliver high-quality Go High Level websites consistently, quickly, and with confidence. And that's exactly what I did. So if you want access to my Go High Level website library, just click the first link in the description. And if you are curious about exactly what sections it contains, check out this video right here.